Today it's a practice-oriented Sunday service, so I'd like to make my talk pretty brief. Jungsan, our second head Dharma master of Won Buddhism, said, this is a Korean saying, this blank is the gate of calamity. It's a Korean saying, and he said to his students, we better correct that. This blank is the gate of both calamity and blessings. So what fits in this blank? Quiz, eh? Your brain. No.
This life, the mind?
No. This blank is the gate of calamity. Or this is the gate of both the calamity and the blessings. Our mouth, our word. There's a Korean saying, with one compassionate world, one can free oneself from a $1 million debt. Think about that. With your mouth, how much you hurt other people. Or because of some groundless rumor, how many good relationship has been broken. In a big church, because of the groundless rumor, it got spread. It's very common. But at the same time, our mouth, our speech can be a very, very useful tool. I heard this story from one of my teachers. Around 10 or 12 years ago, when the Korean economy was in depression, one business person, his business got bankrupt. And he had to sell his house and all his possessions. And he has no money to restart his business. And what made the family very difficult was from time to time, all the creditors, the lenders, visited his house and asked for the money, which was very terrible to his children and his wife. The house atmosphere was very dim. And the couple start to lose some good conversation. They start to not to talk each other for more than 1 year. But one day, the wife thought to herself, I or my child cannot live in this way anymore. And she decided her mind, why do I say something cheerful or compassionate word to my husband first? It does not come out naturally. And she started to carry out that item of mindfulness. Anyway, to make a long story short, within 2 years, the house atmosphere was changed, and his husband borrowed some money from his relatives, and he restarted his business, and he regained his house, and the happiness was restored. One day, the husband asked his wife, I need to show you something. And he showed to his wife some letter. When she read the letter, it was a suicide note. She was shocked. When or why did he write the note? And he said, when he was very much depressed, when there seemed no hope for his family or for his business, and one night he decided his mind to kill himself. And he wrote the letter. The letter was full of some tear stains. And he loved smoking, so he went to the balcony of his 7th-story apartment. And he thought to himself, this is the last cigarette, before he tried to jump from the 7th-story apartment. When he finished smoking, he happened to see his wife coming. His wife, after his business bankrupt, she had had a second job, and she has to come on very late. And when his wife saw him on the 7th floor, she waved to him, "Honey, I'm home." When he heard her wife very cheerful word in that really grim situation, he changed his mind. And he got really encouraged, and so on. So our mouth, our speech is not necessarily the gate of a calamity. It can be the gate of both calamity and blessings. In Korea, in 70s, there is a legendary thief, Shin Chang-wan. Every Korean knew that name. He was so smart, and he escaped prison several times. And eventually, when he was caught, the last time, even the military was mobilized to catch him. And one day, one journalist would like to have an interview with him, and what really made him to have the kind of habit or lifestyle. He was born in a very, very poor family. And he told to that reporter just one incident he can vividly remember. When he was in his 3rd grade, when he was in school, he could not pay tuition on time because of the poverty of his house. And one day, the teacher in the class yelled to him. He was just a little boy. "You did not pay a tuition this semester. What are you doing here? Get out of the class." I don't think that teacher is a bad person. Probably he may have some bad day, or he may be scolded by the principal. We don't know. But when he heard that word, that nasty word from his teacher, he wrote that in his memoir. A devil was born in his soul. He wrote in that way. So Buddha said, our word, our speech is like an axe It can become very useful tool, or it can kill other people. So there is also some Asian saying, a gunshot wound can be healed quickly, but wound that's created by word can last for a long, long time. The initiation, when you first start to practice Dharma, the initiation service in Buddhism is called Sugeshik. Sugeshik literally means precepts receiving ceremony. In other words, observing precepts is more important, or what comes first, before you are practicing sitting meditation or studying Dharma, etc. Just like we know, what's the turning point for Judaism to start? When Moses received the 10 Commandments from the Mount Sinai, it's the beginning of the Judaism. There are so many precepts. Our founding master made it very brief, condensed it like 30 precepts in a very practical way. The first 10 precepts: do not kill without due cause, do not steal, do not commit sexual misconduct, do not consume intoxicants, do not gamble or play idle games, do not use harsh speech, do not fight without due cause, etc. All the precepts is composed of the 3 parts. First, controlling our mind. First, our action, our deed. The first group. The second group, controlling our speech. The third group is controlling our mind. When you read all these precepts, so many precepts are related with controlling our tongue. Why? We make a lot of mistakes through misusing our speech. It can change other people's life, especially our children's life. Let me read some precepts related with controlling our speech. Do not use harsh speech. Do not speak about the faults of others. Do not talk while someone else is talking. Do not speak flowery and ingratiating words. Do not be double-tongued. Do not make impertinent remarks, and so on. So, related with the importance of observing precepts, Zen Master Sesan said in this way: practicing Zen meditation while remaining immersed in sexual conduct is like cooking sand for a meal. Practicing Zen meditation while not yet avoiding killing any living thing is like a person who plugs their own ears and then shouts something important to himself. Practicing Zen meditation with a mind that would steal is like trying to fill a leaky bowl. And a liar who practices Zen meditation is a person who would try to use feces for incense. So if we become more mindful in using our speech, our life would be very much changed. The atmosphere in our house would be much changed. Eventually, this society will be improved better. So let me end this talk by reading a couple of the verses from our scripture. By saying even one thing or writing even one line, a person can give others either hope and peace or despair and turmoil. Thus a person does not always commit transgressions because he is fundamentally bad, but will often commit the transgressions without realizing it because he does not understand the principle of what creates transgressions and blessings. One day, Buddha walked in the forest with his disciple, and Ananda, his attendant, happened to pick up a branch. And the Buddha asked Ananda, Ananda, would you count the number of the branches? Well, it's very many, it's more than 20. Buddha said, my Dharma, my teaching through words is like the number of the leaves on that branch. But my teaching through silence is the number of leaves in that forest. So, as long as we talk a lot, we will make a mistake. That's a really sure thing. My teacher told me why human beings have 2 ears and 1 mouth. We should listen twice as much as we talk. So Lao Tzu said, the one who knows does not speak. The one who speaks does not know. So there is a well-known Zen monastery in Korea, Songgwangsa Monastery. In their meditation center, there is a calligraphy. If you talk more than 10 minutes, your practice that day would come to nothing, would be futile. It's addressed to Zen priest, but we have to say something necessary. But still, we need to become very mindful in using our tongue. Okay, thank you.